Imagine if you were told that you only have 1 year to live, that is 12 months. What would you do? You'd obviously try and do the things that you love, spend more time with the people that you love, travel there and there. Some of you would even cash out your pension fund and start doing the things that you love. There is a quote that says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is a gift. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is LindyShirries, and in today's video, I'm just going to talk about why are you not positioning yourself to do the things that you love? I know we cannot just go ahead and resign. I know we cannot just start living recklessly. We need to plan and start doing the things that we want. It doesn't mean that if you are spending more time at work, or maybe if you are spending more time at home doing nothing, you cannot start doing the things that you love. You have to identify first and list everything that you want. We are all given a purpose to live, and we are all given certain things that we need to do in this life. I always say that God has orchestrated everything that we need to do in this life, and we just need to start walking into those steps. And what happens if one day you die and go to heaven, and then God says, you were supposed to have this, you were supposed to have that, you were supposed to have that, but then you were living in fear, scared to do the things that you really want to do. Now that connects back to our purposes, that connects back to their creator, that connects back to God, who's the one who created everything in this earth, and he knows your life deep down, and he's the one who created you in your mother's womb, putting all the gifts, putting everything that you need, equipping you for everything that you need to live this life in a way that is fulfilling. Positioning yourself to me simply means that you need to be at the right place at the right time, and then receiving what God has placed at that position. So in order to position yourself, there are things that you need to do. Let me give you an example. I need to position myself. I first needed to plan what I needed to do, and for me it was simple that I needed to resign. In order for me to be able to do the things that I love, I realized that the hours that I was spending at work were way too much, and it wasn't going to allow me to fully be present in my kids' life, to fully be present in helping people, to fully be present in my NGO, to fully be present in everything that I am going to do as a business. So that on its own started being a tree that was planted in my mind. As the seed was growing, I started to implement each and everything that was needed for me to achieve that dream. And all of that didn't just happen in an instant. This is a journey of 5 years. This is a journey of realizing that what was happening at work and what was happening in the space that I was in, it wasn't giving anything good to my life. That's where all the depression started happening. That's where I didn't want to be in that environment. That's where I realized that I wanted to do something better that wasn't offered in the environment that I was given to. To be in a corporate environment, it must be aligned to your purpose. If your purpose is for you to be in that place, remember, in any place that we are planted at, we must also share the gospel. We must also do what God has said we must do. It doesn't mean that because you are in a corporate environment, you have to resign to be out in order for you to fulfill the purpose that God has placed. Some of you, your purpose is to be an accountant. Some of you, your purpose is to be a doctor. Some of you, your purpose is to be a mother. And if you do it and do it fully and according to what God has placed in your life, you will find fulfillment in that. Part of the reason why I was depressed most of the time is because I wanted to be in control. And to be in control simply means I am not trusting God to be the sovereign God who is in control of everything in my life. And the day I started taking the ropes and giving back to God, because he's the one who knows exactly what's going to happen in my life and at the right time, that's the day when I found fulfillment. That's the day when I started living my life and not living with anxiety. Now, we might be living our lives being busy. I mean, living in this world where everything is just going up and down. You're going to work, you're coming back, you're cooking, you're doing all these things, trying to make sure that your family is well fed. But then there is a possibility that you might miss a mark. How are you missing a mark? By not being present in each and every event, in each and every situation, in each and every dinner moment that you are having with your family. How are we missing our mark by not being present? I mean, there's an example of people who go to church with their laptops, and at the same time, while being at church, listening to a service, they are busy thinking about their laptops in their car. That's you not being present in a church environment. Or maybe you are invited in a parents' meeting where you have to go and listen and contribute to any discussion that is happening in that parent meeting. But you thinking about the cooking that needs to happen back home, that's you not being present in that place or in that event. It is so easy for us to be so busy with our house chores, doing all the things that we want, not being present in our kids' lives. When our kids start telling us different things that are happening in their lives, it is so easy for us to be so busy trying to feed them, trying to get their clothes clean, trying to clean the house, and not listening to what they are saying. We are creating an environment where our youth are relying on social media to raise them, would even have gadgets that we will give to our kids so that they can keep quiet, play that game, or use my cell phone so that I can be focused on what I am doing. That's us not being present in our kids' lives. Imagine paying so much money to go to Paris and wanting to see different places in Paris, but getting to a flight, flying to Paris, checking in at the hotel, but then at the same time thinking about what's happening at home. At the same time being worried about that project at work. At the same time being worried about something that is happening at church. We need to be present in each and every environment, in each and every place, in each and every discussion, in each and every moment. Procrastination and postponing things, it is one of the sickness that we all have. Guys, you know you have to start that business, but you are not starting, you're waiting for the right moment. When is that year? Next year? In future? 2025? What if you do not even make it to that year? So it is important for us to start, guys. Starting is so important. I think about YouTube all the time and say, if you do not take that phone and record that video and post it, you are not giving yourself that moment where you would learn how to edit, where you would learn how to project your voice, where you would learn how to do research, where you would learn how to plan for your videos. But then the sooner you post that video and look at yourself and see the mistakes that you are making, that is when you start learning and also upgrading your YouTube channel. So guys, starting, it is important. If you want that business, don't wait for the right moment. Start with those things. Do not say things like, I do not have money. Start selling small things. Start selling sweets. Start selling even socks for you to accumulate that money that you need in order for you to start that business. You have to start, guys, because the sooner you start, you would learn about profit. The sooner you start, you would learn about business marketing. The sooner you start, you would learn about other strategies you can use to market your business. But if you do not start, you would never know, and you would never ever start a perfect company that will run smoothly without you learning something. I used to be that person who never left. Guys, there's so many things that I would want to do, but then I would start saying things like, maybe I need to save this money. And even when I really want that McDonald's, I mean, think about it. I'm one person who would eat McDonald's in every 3 months or maybe in every 6 months. And for me to crave McDonald's, it simply means that I haven't eaten McDonald's for the last 3 months. And imagine when that moment comes, at that time when I am busy saving my money, and it simply means I am not doing something that I really want at that moment. So let's just learn to also celebrate our moments, because sometimes you might have that money and not crave for McDonald's, but then when you have that last 50 rand and craving for that McDonald's, go buy it, because life is too short. You might not buy it now, but one day when you really want it, maybe you won't even be able to eat that McDonald's because you'll be sick. I have one rule now. For each and every money that I make, 10% goes to my family for us to use as we wish, for us to buy Nike takers if we want to do that, because I am that person who never even buy a brand, because I am saying I'm not going to waste my money. But then when I wear something nice, I also feel good. So now I am at that point where whenever I have money, I am distributing my money. 10% church, 10% to my family, where we would do anything, whether it's food, whether it's buying ourselves a brand that we like, but then we want to live. We want to spend and celebrate the money that we are working hard for. Do good to people around you, because those are the people who will be there when you need help. And sometimes we want to do good to people because they are doing something back to us. do good to people even when they are not doing something good to you. Because remember, what the Bible is saying is that every time when we do something good to someone, we are actually depositing into a bank which God realizes, and then he will bless us with that. So even if someone is mean to you, just make sure that you smile back to them. Even if someone is gossiping about you, just make sure that you greet them and continue to show love. You know, when you love someone, I always think about a relationship, especially with a husband and a wife. Feed your husband love so much that they do not have any choice but to love you back. But then if you are going to constantly nag, constantly shout, constantly complain, and not love that person, they wouldn't even realize that there is something called love. So we are all to love people around us. Give. If you have something that you are not using and you see that your brother or sister needs that something, give, guys. Release, clear your garage, clear your wardrobe so that God can bless you even more with new things. Guys, give, give, give. A hand that gives always receive. Positioning yourself, it also means that you need to get that education. Education can be in different forms. You watching that educational video on YouTube, that's education to me. You studying a book, that's education for me. You reading that book, you are basically going into someone's world and identifying and analyzing how they think, how they respond, how they communicate, and that way you will learn something from that. Even if it's something that is not totally related to your topic, but then you would know how this different culture think, so that one day when you are in a conversation with such a person, you would know how to best communicate with them. So studying is important, guys. Imagine if you do not study and then you get to that position. I talked about position, I talked about God placing different things in our lives, and when you get to that position and they give you an offer and say the only thing that we need is a degree on what and what, if you didn't position yourself and study to get that degree or to get that certificate or to get that certificate of nail technician or to get that certification of makeup, it can be any certification, but you need to study so that you put more tools in your life so that when you get to that point where that thing is needed, you are ready to produce. Network, guys. Networking is so important. There are so many events for women right now. When you go to this place, when you go to Facebook, you will see an event to do with women gathering. There's so many people who are running NGOs, who are running these projects where women will gather in one place. And most of the time when women gather, there's power, because women are empowered, because you will learn something from Dr. So-and-so, you will learn something from a wife, you will learn something from a YouTuber, and then when you combine that, you have so many tools that you can use in your life. But then if you do not go to these events where there's networking and continue to stick with your own set of friends where you all know the same things and you are not learning something new, you will not learn, guys. Network, have those contact numbers so that when you need something, you already have a person that you can call and say, I need this type of service, can you please? And that way we are all connecting and helping each other and all making money, and money that circulates within us, and in that way we'll make the most money as women. And the same thing goes with men. There are events for men right now. I mean, gone are those days where we would see women's events, children, girl child to work, but now there's so many events. Men are taking action to create these events. Different churches are also taking action to create events where men will also be empowered. And because we cannot be empowered as women and then men are not empowered, we all need to be empowered so that when we meet, we get to do what God has planned and destined for our lives. I would like to end this video by saying you only have one life. You do not have a backup. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. Today is a gift. Today is present. Live your life. Live your life and make sure that you put God at the center of your life. Thank you, guys.